Hello and what is up, guys? Right here, and welcome back to some more Gearcity. Before we continue on with the Maven Motors campaign of our company, we're going to go over sort of what's been happening in the game. For the new people who have never seen this game before, Gearcity is a car company tycoon game, much like Automation is, except it's more focused on the tycoon aspects than on the actual designing and engineering of cars, like in Automation. So in front of us, we've got our office. This is our office. We got our desk, we got our books, we got our phone, our computer thingamajigger, we got our safe, of course, storing our fat stacks of Dogecoin. We got our back room over there. We can go to our R&D department, our race team department, or the showroom to see all of our cars. So let's start by going into our showroom and take a look and see the things we've created over the years. Let's just go back to the past for a little bit with Maven Motors and see what's happening. So we've created a lot of cars. We've got several pages of cars here on the top left throughout the years, starting in the 1940s, or starting in 19, the first car was 1905, the Maven Motors MKS1. We can't see a picture of it because I believe this car was a car we bought off another company, which this game doesn't show you the other designs they made sometimes. This is our first in-house design. This is the Maven Motors MK1. So, you know what? It's 1906. It looks like a car. It's got four wheels. So this episode, we're actually going to go to our Maven brand, which is our equivalent to Ford, Chevrolet, or Dodge. So just a generic American brand that makes generic American cars. But Maven's a little, you know, they're a little unique. They like to do different things. So if we go to our R&D department, which is where we're at now, we've got, we can see the list of all of our current cars that we have in production, all of our parts, all of our cars. We'll make this a little bit bigger so you can see here. There's a lot of them, obviously. If we sort by design year, which is what we're at, so we got the newest, the oldest back here. So we have to make new generations of all of our Maven cars today, which includes the Maxi, which is our very, very cheap compact car sedan. We have the next one would be the Cressada, which is a compact sedan, just a normal compact sedan. The Maximus, which is a full-size sedan. The All-Mover station wagon. We also have the All-Runner, which is a compact SUV, and the Phaeton, which is a pickup truck. So we've got a few cars here and there. We also got the Marvel Sport, which is a sports car. Yeah, that's pretty much it. So what we're going to do is go ahead and modify these cars, make new engine parts, make all that stuff for the cars. We're going to pretty much make an entire new platform engine from scratch. I'll show you guys how that works. And we're going to go ahead and design some cars. The goal for today, Maven has made a lot of decent cars. The Maven Marvel Sport SS, 0-67.3 seconds, which is kind of respectable for the 60s. Actually came out in 1958, which is kind of respectable for a sporty kind of sports car. It's cheap. It's a cheap sports car. It's like a pony car. 5.4 liter V8, rear-wheel drive, manual gearbox, 240 horse. Not bad. So I think Maven wants to go a little bit above and beyond today and make ourselves a supercar. Now, nothing says you know, you've made it like your car company producing something like the Ford GT, for example, in the 1960s and 70s. Or the 1960s, yeah, the 1960s was a supercar by Ford. It was a race car, but obviously they had to sell a little bit. I think they had to sell some on the street as well. So we're going to make a production supercar for Maven today. That's the biggest highlight. We're going to design that thing, engineer it, and not see how it drives because we can't drive these cars, but that's okay. Now what we're going to do is just make new generations of all these engines. Honestly, 2.2 liters seems like a pretty reasonable size for a compact car in 1965. So 145 torque sounds pretty fine, I guess. And maybe 90 horsepower. I think that's about in line with some compact cars of the time. We'll finish this engine in 11 months. I don't want to call it the G series engine. We're going to call this the, like Ford has the thrift power. I can't recall what Chevrolet has for their engine naming schemes. We're going to call this the Maven Motors, just Eco Sport. The Eco Sport engine. It's economy, it's sport. What more do you really want from an engine? 2.5 to the 2.5. The Eco Sport 2.5 sounds generic enough. We can go ahead and modify that engine as well and redesign the Eco Sport 2.5, and we can just base engines off of that. So a 3-liter inline 6, we got a 2.5-liter inline 4, 3-liter inline 6 with a bit over 200 pound-feet of torque. It's a little torquier than last time. It's still not much more. So let's go ahead and ramp this up to 140 horsepower and 205 pound-feet of torque. The EcoSport 3.0. So 170 horse and 240 torque. So little slight bumps here. We'll go for the EcoSport 4.0. And MPG is down a little bit, but that's pretty much all right. So we got the EcoSport 5.0. There. So we'll go like this. Alright, so 5.5 liters exactly, and the previous 5.4 liter had 330 torque, so a bit of a jump in torque, which we can remedy that. 270 horsepower, so a good jump there. The EcoSport 5.5. So we've got a bunch of EcoSport engines. We've got the 2, the 3, the 4, the 5, and the 5.5. So we got 5 engines for Maven here. Save the game, because you always want to save the game, because it sometimes crashes just a little bit. Okay, so we've got pretty much everything engineered for our vehicles. We gotta wait till the engineering is done. If we look on the top right here, it'll tell us our current research, etc. We've got 4 factories on the go. We got a factory in Monterey, I think it's how you pronounce it, Milan, Toronto, and Houston. We've also got all the chassis, the engines, and the several gearboxes as well under development. They'll take in between 11 and 23 months depending on the supercar chassis, sports car chassis or not. Okay, so the year's done. Nothing of really note happened. We finished construction of our new redesigned factory. I think that was Toronto, if I'm mistaken. All of our factories are pretty much maxed out. The Montreal factory is being upgraded, I think. Let's go ahead and finally build the Maven cars. So what we have to do is go to modify vehicle, find the vehicles we want to modify, and then just modify them, I guess, and we can design them and stuff there. So let's start off with the compact car and design our own car. So we've got a few bodies we can choose from here, a few basic shapes like automation. You can choose your shape. This is gonna be a compact car. I kind of like the hatchback. It's kind of tall though and big. If we can go ahead and modify the body, make it lower, and overall, can we make it shorter? Like just a short, quirky kind of hatchback. Larger windows, I like the large windows. Thick windows, that's kind of cool. And a lower ride height's fine. Let's go to the rear. Let's make it shorter. Can we make it shorter? Only longer. I don't want fins. I just want make it shorter, please. Let's go short in the front at least. So a short front. This is like a wagon almost. This is a very interesting car. I think it'll sell better in Europe because it's definitely it's a hatchback. Very short front, very long rear. Let's finish that. Let's just go modify it again. Let's go... Yeah, you know what? Let's keep it. Modify this car. Now let's add things like the wheels, tires, the grills, etc. Go ahead and paint this lovely beast. Let's paint it a nice, bright, faded yellow, because I don't mind that at all. Let's give it... Come on, what else can we paint yellow? The wheels? Oh, wow, we can do yellow wall tires? That's so ugly. Oh, God, why is that a thing? Can we paint them black? What does the black look like? Maybe a lighter black. I don't know, I like the white walls, to be honest. They're fine. Let's go ahead to metals. Let's give it a lighter chrome bumper. Or maybe like a midder in the middle. Middle chrome bumper. Middle of these. Give the bit of a shine to the door handles. They're not the same height, but that's totally fine, I'd say, honestly. Totally reasonable. Totally reasonable. Okay. The basics are almost done. Let's go to paint again. Paint the hood bulges. Go to glass and make the glass dark because that looks always pretty clean. And I think that's the basics right there. So we got this little compact hatch for the lower class. This is the Maven Maxi. We'll finish it in 24 months. So we'll finish in 1968. The Maven Motors Maxi. I think we're actually going to rename the brand to Maven as well this year because I don't know why it's still called Maven Motors. That seems very 1900s. The Cressada, which is the next up. Go for the M Series 2 chassis. I think it is the 2.5, but it goes to the 3.3 in the next one up. So we'll do that ourselves. So it's got this body. It's a little smaller actually. If we can't load, I wish we can load it in our things here. So I've made this before, and I could use that, but I kind of don't want to, even though it fits pretty nice. Like it looks too fancy. I feel like, you know. Let's go to design our own car here. All right, so we got a lot of body choices. Not a lot of them look that great. We could use that one. That's like that could be a mid-sized regular sedan. That's a coupe. We could probably make it to a sedan as well. It's actually a little taller than this one. It's a little bigger. We can grab this. We can try morphing this to make it a little bit more of a sedan look. It's definitely a short sedan, I guess. There we go. We got the Maven Cressada, which is like a really cool looking sedan. Let's make it a slightly different color. Let's go to a blue. I don't know why you can't paint the grille, but we'll leave it like that. I like that. That's a big chrome front end. Let's give it these different color center caps. I think we're pretty much good to go. This thing looks really cool. I think it. I actually really like this car. So we have a 60s to maybe even 80s. Small sedan. Look at that. There we go. We got the thick boy Maven Maximus. This is going to be 60s to 80s probably. mid-size sedan. And we got this one. Let's make it all the same. The Maven Motors Maximus. Go to the next one. And we'll do the mirror or the glass dark again. Look at that. There we go. This is a 60s to 70s small truck. It looks very cute. I like it. I got the Maven Motors Thetan. Now, I don't know if we want to call it the Thetan. I don't know if we want to call it that. The Mayhem. Right there. You know? Something kind of simple. It sounds more sporty than it really is. More aggressive. And this thing's got to pack a little bit of a punch because it's punched above its weight. And the paint color, let's give it a brown maybe. That just looks disgusting. Let's give it a more of an orange. Like that. And this will be 60s to maybe 80s. Large truck. Look at that. Look at that beefy front end. We got the new Thetan for us. This is the all-new Maven Thetan. So the Maven Motors Thetan, and we got the Thetan and the Thetan XT, I think. It's gonna be for the upper middle class. Yep, V8 only. And we will go ahead and make the Thetan XT with a top-of-line 5.5 liter V8 engine with a proper 4-speed manual. There we go. You know what? We can go quad exhaust. Quad exhaust. It's just a frumpy looking car. I am just disgusted with how ugly this car is at this point. It's just absolutely hilarious. Let's go for more, not jams and gaps. Let's go for molding, like that. Just a little bit of a detail there, up under the actual door handles itself. Let's give it door handles, and I think that's pretty much good. Definitely an absolutely disgusting car, and I hate it, but it works. Close enough. We'll take it. We take those. Paint, we'll give it a nice dark red, or nice rich red, I guess. Very aggressive red. Black out the trim. Dark mirrors. Very aggressive, obviously. And sadly, you can't do anything about these light housing, though, can you? I don't think you can. No, sadly, you can't do anything with these light housing. That's really weird. No, you can't. Okay, well, that's fine. It'll be fine. Don't look at that way. This is going to be 60s to 70s small sporty car. Small sport. It's a small sporty car, mid-engine somehow. We'll finish it in 2 years as well. Maybe 3 years now. We'll finish it in 2 years. 1969. 1969 Marvel. Maven Marvel Sport. We'll call this the MSR. The Marvel Sport rear engine, or rear engine? It's rear engine. It's a rear engine. That's fine. It's for the upper class now. Then will be for the upper middle class. And the top one will be for the upper class alone. There we go. So the MSR will be finished in 1969. And we will do the MSR with the 5.5 V8. And we'll give it a speed shift. And we'll call us the MSR SP. Sure. The top of the line MSR. 6.5 seconds is actually quite reasonable to 60 without too much modifications for the upper class. More reliability, more comfort, and will actually increase manufacturing techniques, which lowers our weight. And then just a bit of tweaks here and there, really. There we go. Series 60, 6.4. Like, that's only 270 horse. Like, this is not like a crazy powerful muscle car, but it does the job quite well. Design a supercar. No one's gonna buy this thing at all, probably. It'll have. We're actually gonna modify first. Let's modify the stick shift. The sport shift, I think. It's a 5-speed. The speed shift 2. The speed shift M1. The speed shift 2. The speed shift M1. The speed shift 2 is the better one. So we modified that to make it better. If we modify the chassis of the MR, we'll modify that, make it better as well, and modify the 5.5. Well, we'll have two V8s. We'll have a 290 horsepower V8 or a 480 horsepower V8. We'll have two engines in our mid-engine supercar. So you got 290 horse, which is pretty. It's more powerful than the Starfire 2.8 liter V8. No, what is it? It's called a 280 because it's 280 horsepower. Is that or 280 cubic inches? I honestly don't know. It's a 4.6 liter. Yeah, 280 cubic inches seems like right. All right, it'll have a 5.5 290 horsepower engine and a 5-speed speed shift. Now, a mid-engine supercar, I did design this, which is a mid-engine kind of Mustang. Long back. But let's go ahead and see what bodies we have. If we have the same bodies, ugh, I'm gonna cry. I think we might just have to use the existing Mustang. Cause like this thing looks pretty cool. I actually kind of like it. Like I didn't mind it in the first place, to be honest. But the tires are so massive. I love the tires are so massive. I made this one a long time ago, but it is wild looking. Let's actually modify it. Okay. There we go. That looks pretty mean if you ask me. I feel like it looks pretty mean. I don't think the door gems are lined up properly, but that's okay. So 60s to 70s muscle supercar. American supercar. This is a very American design. It's a Mustang supercar. I'll take that. We take those. And we've done it 2 years. And the stats are actually kind of okay for now. Let's lower all these sliders. That'll lower the weight and lower cost as well. Increase these. This will decrease weight. Lower these. Decrease weight. Alright. So it weighs 2,200 pounds, 290 horse, 0 to 60. So the 0 to 60 is obviously way off. This is gonna be for the upper. The upper? Not the ultra wealthy. This is gonna be like an everyman supercar maybe. I don't know. It's fine as is. It'll be in a 1968. This is going to be called the Maven Motors. So the MSR, the Marvel Sport R for rear engine. So the MSS, the MSR, nah, we'll call this the Super Sport maybe. Just the Maven Motors or Super Sport, sure. Sure, just a generic name, Super Sport. The Maven Motors, the car is just called the Super Sport. We have the Super Sport SP with the big engine and the updated with the same good transmission. 4.7 seconds to 60. Pretty good top speed of 180 miles an hour approximately. That's reasonable, I think, for an American supercar of the time. Alright, let's see. So, we got the Super Sport SP and the MSR SP. Two mid-engine cars. 0 to 60, 4.7. Costs about 7,000. It's pretty expensive. It's actually a lot more than the MSR SP. But it gets 15 mpg. It weighs so much, 2,185 pounds. So it's actually about as light as it's the same weight as the MSR. With a 5-liter V8, etc., etc. Not bad, not bad. Let's go ahead, fast forward a little bit. 12 months, we'll get all the cars sort of for sale. We'll start selling, I think, in Taiwan before we hop off today. Okay, guys, so it's 1968. It's almost 1969, which is the best year, obviously. Let's go ahead and open a branch in Taiwan. Just a branch in Taiwan to start off. We don't have a factory there yet, so they're going to get shipped there, but I don't want to miss out and have to sell them later on there. Alright, it's been 1 full year. We can cancel that of selling our new Maven vehicles. Everything's selling quite well. We'll take a look and see how they are selling in a sec. Let's just delete this. Let's launch our new supercar and sports car. I just want to check real quick. So how good are we doing in China? The Taipei factory is coming right away. 800 units, not bad. I'm just trying to think though. Should we try expanding maybe into actual mainland China as well? Just because if you get in there early, it's pretty good. Like, let's see. So there's a few compact cars selling 30 units. Like I think we can sell a good bit of units. So we're gonna try to jump into China as well. Into just a few larger cities. So Shanghai, Beijing, and Tianjin. So that's just a few larger ones. See if we can sell a few extra cars here and there. That'd be lovely. Maybe the Philippines. How about the Philippines? People are already selling there a lot. What about Indonesia? No one's selling in Indonesia. We can try Indonesia. That's a good one to help. What about Singapore? People are already in there. And what about Thailand? No, so we can hop into Thailand. So a few Asian places we'll hop into. We're gonna start constructing a factory maybe in what, Korea? Let's open one in Korea. Let's start making a factory in Korea as well. Just another 5,000 car a month factory, just so we can produce cars in the future in Asia a lot more, because that's kind of important. I feel like we will open a factory if we can here, might as well, and maybe here. A couple extra dealerships. I mean, not factories. We'll save it, because that's important, because the game crashes. It barely crashes anymore for me, but it has crashed a lot in the past. let's go ahead, go to Maven, and let's just make sure all the old cars are for sale first. The Cressada, the Maxi, the Maximus, the Mayhem, the Phaeton, and the Micro. So, the MSR, going to start at a reasonable $4,000. Pretty expensive still. The SP, let's go for $5,500. Not a lot of cash in these cars. That's okay. The Super Sport, let's bring it down to $20,000. Let's bring it down to $20,000. Let's bring it, $20,000 is fine. $20,000. It's about $150,000, maybe even less actually. Let's bring it down to 15. Let's make it a $100,000 supercar. Okay. So the year 1969 is behind us. 1970 is the final year. We're going to finish off today. 1970. We'll sim a couple years next time. Then work on the Harriet and Blackwood brands again. I just want to make a note. We actually had the best supercar in the entire world. The 68 Maven Super Sport SP. Not bad. If we let's actually do 1 month. We'll do one more month real quick. And we'll see. It'll tell us a breakdown of our combined sales per model for the year. That's probably pretty important to see. Let's go back here and check. So, the Maxi, which is our compact hatchback thing. 225 million sales in a year. It's not terrible. Of course, Maven isn't the biggest company in the world. The Cressada, 160,000. Not bad. The Maximus, 150. So our sedans and our compact doing quite good. The Blackwood Coachster and Marshall selling quite well. The GTS, which is our sports car. No, the Harriet GTS, which is the Harriet sports car, selling quite well. I think it's a coupe, actually. The Phaeton, selling quite well for a truck. The Mayhem selling okay. The Classic selling quite good. The Micro is selling all right, not the best. And the Super Sport, we sold 4,000 supercars in a year. Let's check our... Everyone's doing pretty good money-wise, I think. Let's check our vehicle class market share. We sold 97% of all supercars in 1969. We are the only, or one of two supercars probably in the world, which is pretty crazy. We are the largest truck manufacturer, we are the largest sports car manufacturer, largest full-size sedan manufacturer, largest luxury sedan manufacturer, not the largest, but almost sedan, and a bit far behind in compact, and quite a bit far behind in subcompact. We only have one subcompact offering anyway, so it's not bad. So the supercar offering, wow, that's pretty good. If we go to all-time market share, hide the others, which is everything else, and Maven is actually... We're the largest manufacturer in the world right now. That's actually pretty cool. We're the largest manufacturer in the world. We're actually number one for a bit there. We're actually number one manufacturer in the world again. We're actually quite a bit by number one in the while back. I think we're going to finish it off here. If you guys want to see more Gearcity, let me know in the comments down below. I play this every once in a while. I actually really love this game. It's not automation, I know. More content, another video is coming tomorrow. I say that like every time that something's coming the next day, but something is coming tomorrow. It's going to be a stream, building automation cars in stream with chat with you guys. Then we'll continue on from there. Leave a like, comment, subscribe, join the Discord, linked in the description below. Thank you guys, of course, so much, and as always, I'll see you next time.